Greetings, everyone. We are here for another collective energy check. I have already cleared the energy. I have already shuffled all the decks. And I've already said the prayers. So we're going to jump right in and see what Spirit has to say. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for joining me. And if you would like to support the channel, please support the channel at Priority K1 on Cash App. If this video resonates with you, please like and share the video. Thank you in advance. So, I recently added 80 new situations into the decks, and I will rifle through each one of the decks 3 times, and if Spirit doesn't have a message in that deck, I will move on to the next deck. I will pull 1 card from each deck. I will summarize each row as we go along, and I will be taking notes, and at the end I will summarize the entire message. So, to start the message off, Spirit is saying that ancestors are involved, which already lets us know that there is some type of spiritual and connotation to this message. And it is possible that it could be a message from spirit ancestors. So let's see what message it is that they have for us. What's this message, ancestors? What is the message you have for us, ancestors? Please give us clear and concise messages. What is the message that you have for us today, ancestors? Masturbate came out, so that's in the energy. Thank you. Okay, so obviously the wheel is not turning in somebody's favor. That's been in the energy, okay? Because yesterday the message was that the wheel is definitely turning in the collective's favor. So right now the wheel is not turning in somebody's favor. And here on the split, we got ancestors again, and we got projection, okay? So what that lets me know right off the bat is, like I said, once again, there's some type of spirituality involved, and with projection being out there like that, that means that it involves a narcissistic energy, okay? Because that's one of the things that narcissistic people do, is they project. Like the C is missing out of projection too. I need to correct that. I'll take this out so I can fix that later. Okay, patience maybe. So we got ancestors out here, okay, twice, okay, which is verifying that this message is a message from ancestors. Oh, Virgo, okay, so this got left out by accident, so maybe a Virgo is involved. And we're going to correct that projection later, making sure it has a C in there later. Here at the bottom of the deck, we have scared. So somebody in the energy is scared. We're going to find out why they're scared. We're going to find out what they're scared of. Yeah. So evidently, whoever it is, they're scared that the wheel of fortune is not turning in their favor. So What else you got for us, Spirit? Sorry about that. We asking Spirit to pop the card all the way out for the authenticity of the reading. Could be a Capricorn involved. Thank you, Spirit. Paranoid. Okay, so they scared and they paranoid. Okay, so that's not looking good for the karmics. Okay. This came out in the reading yesterday, so that's kind of strange that we getting repeat messages. I mean, literally yesterday, the same thing came out in the reading yesterday. Okay, so they were experts at what they were doing. Okay, this is the reading from yesterday. Okay, which we was talking about the dark high priestess yesterday. Okay, this is literally the same thing that came out on the split of this old dark high priestess who was greedy and determined to harm a rising star, a genius rising star. Okay, literally, this came out in the same. This was the same message. Okay, so this is from ancestors. This message is from ancestors, though. So they were expert at projection. I spelled it wrong again. They were experts at projection. Okay. They were experts at operating in narcissistic energy. Okay. And the narcissist, what has been revealed to me is that the narcissist operates in narcissistic energy. First of all, is a demonic energy, but I would suggest that if you haven't already, that you read the book entitled The 48 Laws of Power and the other book called The Art of Seduction, because the narcissistic energy is using these principles to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish here on this earth. So in order to be able to recognize this spirit, especially if the spirit is being used for evil and not good, I would suggest that you go out and read the book. Okay, here we got greedy at the bottom of the deck, and as we know, greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. Okay, so we already know that this is a message from Spirit, though, but they telling us that because this narcissistic energy is using projection, and they're experts at this, and they pray, which means I'm taking this from ancestors, that they're praying on the collective downfall. So, and they're greedy. What else you got for us, Spirit? What else, Spirit? They're under pressure. They're under pressure. Pop out. Spirit saying pop out. You got a message for us in this deck, please, Spirit? If not, then I'll move on to the next deck. Familiar almost popped out. This one turned over, so we're going to take that. Do it yourself. Spirit saying do it yourself. Do it yourself. I have no idea. Do it yourself. Okay, so this is a message from spirit, right? I mean, from ancestors, and they're saying do it yourself. So we're going to find out. Office. So a business is involved, or somebody having a meeting, okay? And then spirit is saying eat up. So I have no idea what spirit is trying to say when they say eat up, because literally eat up also was in the message yesterday. So this, and greedy was in the message today too. So maybe eat up is referring to these karmics being greedy. That's how I'm getting this. Being that this eat up was in the message yesterday along with greed that was at the bottom of the deck. And then here, the same thing again, okay? So we got greed at the bottom of the deck, greedy at the bottom of the deck, and greedy at the bottom of the deck with eat up and surprise. And now we got eat up in office, which means that there's a business involved, or either somebody having a meeting, or it's the business is eat up. Maybe a restaurant or somebody that cooks, maybe. Maybe it involves a business that cooks. Spirit saying pop out again. Okay, we got bad habits for the beginning of the third row, okay? But before we go into the third row, we're going to interpret the first row, okay? Let me just make a note of just bad habits first. Okay, so let's interpret the first row, okay? So, oops. Let me see. Okay, so to start the reading off, we got ancestors, okay? So that's letting us know that this message is from ancestors. And then here again, ancestors popped out on the cut, okay, on the wheel is turning, okay? But it's in reverse. So that's letting us know that the wheel is not turning in these karmics' favor. The wheel is definitely turning in the collective's favor, okay? And we got projection popped out on this card that's letting us know that they definitely karmics, because projection is narcissistic energy, and that's a devil, demonic, that's an evil, demonic, devil energy. That's somebody operating in devil energy, okay? And spirit is letting us know that they paranoid about the wheel not turning in their favor, okay? And they experts at being narcissistic, but they scared and paranoid, okay? And they preyed on the collective, okay? They preyed on the collective's downfall. But spirit is saying that they operate in devil energy because greedy is one of the 7 deadly sins. But there's a business involved, and it says eat up, okay? So, or somebody's having a meeting about eat up. And being that this is an ancestor message, maybe the ancestors are saying they having a meeting about eating these karmics up. But spirit is saying do it yourself. Okay, so now we're going into the second row, and we got bad habits on the bottom of the deck under the wheels not turning in the karmics. In the karmics favor. So the wheel is probably not turning in their favor because they have some bad habits. Tell us more, spirit. trash boxes. The trash box. Thank you, Spirit. Access. So, they trying to use these bad habits that they got to access something. They trying to access the collective. They trying to access somebody in the collective or the collective via the spiritual realm, because this message is from ancestors. So, yeah. And this is a gift. Clairsentient is a gift. Okay? Spirit is saying that this attack is temporary. Okay? In case anyone isn't aware, there's a shift happening right now. Okay? And the shift is that evil is about to be eradicated from the earth. Okay? So the enemy, which is the devil, okay, is scared. They're scared and they're paranoid, okay? Because they've been operating in this devil energy since the beginning of the time, which means they operating in all the 7 deadly sins. If you go back and you read the Bible, in the Bible, I believe it's Romans chapter 16, verse 14. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere around there. It mentions the narcissistic energy. Paul was warning us that these people who are operating in narcissistic energy are pretending like they're Christians, but trying to lead the Christians away from God. Okay? And that's exactly what these evil demonic entities are doing right now. They are playing like they're Christian during the daytime in the church, but at nighttime they practicing sex rituals and casting spells. So Paul warned us about this in the beginning, warned us about this devil demonic energy in the beginning. But here at the bottom of the deck for the second card in the second row, we have entitled. So now they feel entitled today, okay? So this energy has been going back and forth, where one day they feel entitled and the next day they don't feel entitled. So obviously it's an energy shift, and today they feel entitled, okay? They feel entitled to the collective's energy. They feel entitled. And what I mean by energy, I don't just mean the sacral energy, which is the sexual energy. They definitely feel entitled to that. But energy, or money, is energy. Okay, so they feel entitled to the collective's money also. They feel entitled to the collective's energy, which sacral energy, which is sexual energy, because our energy is very healing. And they also feel entitled to our money. So right now at this time, what the karmics want us to do is they want us to react so they can get energy, because right now they dying off. So my suggestion is at this time, try not to react, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be emotional. They want you to be angry so they can siphon your energy. So do not allow access to these karmics or this demonic energy by responding with anger. And try to control your emotions as much as possible, especially in front of them. Especially if you're, claircognizant, where you can read energy, then especially in front of these type of people. I'm not saying don't be vulnerable to the people that you are in a loving relationship with or your soul tribe family, but please recognize this demonic spirit and do not react in front of those type of spirits, okay? All right. So this access spirit, what else you got to tell us about this? What else about this access and it will not terminate in the karmic's favor? What are you trying to tell us, ancestors? I can feel you guys in the energy too. I feel you. I'm getting tingling all up and down my back. So I know that they here right now delivering this message. I feel their presence right now. I'm not going to take all of them. I'm not going to take them all. But we're going to reveal what you're trying to say. They sending the evil eye. They're being annoying, and this is very annoying because we are under attack from these demonic entities on a daily basis. Okay, so, but they getting played, and they suffering depression. I'm gonna see which one of these cards which one of these cards you want me to put in the message. Okay, so Spirit is making it definitely clear that maybe they paranoid about giving the evil eye. Okay, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that Spirit is telling us that they're getting played. And that what they're doing by spiritually attacking us on a daily basis is annoying. For some of the people in the collective, it could be causing depression. Or either it's causing depression with them because they're paranoid and they're scared. Because they know their time is up. At the bottom of the deck, we got ancestors saying they want all the smoke. And pride. Pride is also one of the 7 deadly sins. So maybe these karmics are scared because they were operating in devil energy, being greedy and too prideful, and sending the evil eye. And ancestors are saying they want all the smoke. Wow. It was revealed to me that my ancestors, they was gangsters. So they definitely spiritual gangsters. So, and they saying that they want all the smoke. I feel sorry for these karmics because I know that I'm already ranked high in the spirit. So if I'm ranked high in the spirit, then I know my ancestors got to be ranked high. And I got chills running through my body right now. So, and I know for a fact that my grandfather, when he was alive, he was a for real gangster. I mean, not my grandfather, my great-grandfather. He was a for real gangster, for real. I'm talking about, I met Don King and some of the real gangsters when I was a child. So we got FBI at the bottom of the deck. FBI has been in the energy. Okay. Go back and watch the video where the X and let's see, the video of the X. Let's see what that video was titled. The X and the cousin in government trouble. Okay, go back and watch that video because the FBI was in that video, and the FBI and IRS. So maybe they scared and paranoid because they about to lose everything because they're under investigation by the FBI and the government. And this popped out on do it yourself. So FBI and do it yourself. What else, Spirit? What is this do it yourself? What is it? Do what, Spirit? Do it yourself. What's that mean? Smart. Be smart about it. Just do it yourself, Spirit. deck again. Do it yourself. What are you trying to tell us, Spirit? Friends with benefits under do it yourself. I know in order to operate in narcissistic energy, you need a lot of supply. I don't know what Spirit is trying to say, or the ancestors, do it yourself and friends with benefits. That's really not clear, but what's at the bottom of on the split is bankruptcy and deception. Because of this deception, they're going bankrupt. Okay, so let's try to develop this second row. I'm kind of confused right now by Spirit, but Spirit hopefully gonna clarify what this friends with benefits is. I know, like I said, I know these narcissistic people operate and need a lot of supply. Okay, we got isolation at the bottom of the deck for the first card on the third row. Okay, isolation. Wow. So for the second row, we got the ancestors saying, because of these karmics' bad habits, they're not going to have access to the wheel turning in their favor. Okay? And they have been operating in narcissistic energy, and they've been preying on the collective's downfall. Now they're scared and paranoid. Okay? They was doing this shit they experts at operating in this narcissistic energy and this devil energy because they greedy. Now they meeting up and or it's got a business involved that maybe it's this ancestors' business of eating them up, because the ancestors are saying that they want all the smoke. Okay, so Spirit is saying that that this is temporary. Okay, and clairsentient is a gift. So their gifts, I guess, are going to be temporary. All right, and the wheel's not turning in their favor, which means that they probably more than likely losing all their gifts because they're using their gifts for evil and not for good. So they feel entitled to the collective's energy. They're very prideful, okay, which is also one of the 7 deadly sins. So as a result of them being paranoid and scared and operating in devil energy, they send in the evil eye to the collective. But Spirit is saying they want all the smoke. Okay, now FBI came out. Oh, okay, I get it now. So the FBI came out on the bottom of the deck of friends with benefits being out here now. Okay, so I got it now. So Spirit is saying, because what has been in the energy is these karmics have been catfishing people online and using AI in order to recruit. They've been using online, and they also have been using chat lines and group chats in order to meet people, okay, in order to recruit people and to participate in these cults and sex rituals. So that's how Friends with Benefits is involved in the FBI, because of these cults and covens and this church sex cult coven and the Masons and the Eastern Stars in this community and this family that's participating in these sex rituals and recruiting these people for these sex rituals using deception. The FBI is involved. Okay, and what's been in the energy is that these people have been knowingly spreading HIV. So as a result of this, they're going bankrupt because, again, with the FBI being in the energy, in the last read with the ex and the cousin in government trouble, the IRS is involved. So the FBI and the IRS is probably seizing their accounts and taking their money away from them. That's why they're scared and they paranoid. And obviously, they're going into isolation. The worst thing that you can do is expose a narcissistic person. That's the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna create a smear campaign to try to make everybody distract everybody from what the truth really is, to keep them from being exposed. And then the second thing that they do is they go into isolation. So our ancestors are telling us that these karmics right now are in isolation. They're going bankrupt and they're in isolation. And by this bad habits coming out on this access card and saying temporary clairsentient and really following behind the do-it-yourself, Spirit is telling us to tap in to our gifts. What other messages do you have for us, Spirit? Assassination wanted to pop out. They wanted to assassinate me. Wow. Karmic connection. It's a past life connection. Jealousy wanted to pop out. Envy and jealousy is another one of the 7 deadly sins. Jealousy is envy. Silence is its own confession. See, my ex and I, we broke up and she ghosted me, and I haven't heard from her in January 2026. On February 25th will be a year. I have no apologies or nothing, but you know, Spirit is saying silence is its own confession. So that's enough closure. What other message do you have for us, Spirit? Beware of repeated cycles. Isolation wanted to pop out again. So Spirit is definitely clarifying that these karmics are in isolation. That's the Hermit card. Paperwork wanted to pop out, but it didn't pop out, so we're not going to take it. We're going to rifle through this deck one more time. If no message pop out, we're going to move on to the next deck. Court date wanted to pop out. So there's an upcoming court date. Something that involves you. I got a court date coming out. Side chick. Okay, so let me get my message out of here.
Percent charge, boss. I'm ready to go to work for you. Let's get this money.
Well, let's get this money then. We're going to pull from this one first. Occupation. Okay, so we got occupation out on the new deck. We didn't get a card out of the last deck. There was no, but Spirit did give us a couple messages out of those decks. Okay, so occupation. So they definitely did work hard at this. What messages? You got a message in this deck for us, Spirit? It's over 13 decks here. So I'm going to pull one card from each deck. If Spirit doesn't have a message after rifling through the deck 3 times, I'm moving on to the next deck. Pillow talk. So the ancestors are saying that these karmics been pillow talking about me, my situation, or if this resonates with somebody in the collective. These friends, and they pillow talking with these friends with benefits. So basically what they're trying to do is that's part of creating a smear campaign, trying to turn people against the collective, which is me. Sweetheart, the sweetheart. That's 2. Unappreciative wanted to pop out. So they definitely unappreciative of the gifts that God gave them because they're not using their gifts for good. Conspiracy theory, social media, group sex wanted to pop out. Offer. Here they want to come in with an offer now. It's the last time going through this deck. Separate. So Spirit is about to separate the evil from the good. Okay, matter of fact, the evil is about to be totally eradicated from the earth. Okay, I know that. Leave on red. Okay, so Spirit is telling me, or a message for the collective, that if you have, if you currently now in the no contact, Spirit is saying leave them on red. Okay, because maybe Spirit is saying that maybe you need to go into hermit mode. So character and leave on red. So basically what Spirit is saying is have some dignity. That's what Spirit is saying. When you leave them on red, have dignity about leaving them on red. We got Guardian Angel at the bottom of the deck. And I just want to make sure Spirit get its message out the way it's supposed to be getting out. Guardian Angel. So once Spirit denies access to these karmics and separate the evil from the good, Guardian Angel. Collective is being protected by a Guardian Angel. This Guardian Angel is protecting the collective from the evil eye. This Guardian Angel is protecting the narcissistic energy that's sending the evil eye and preying on the collective downfall, using deception and sex rituals and the gifts that God gave him. Spirit saying tap in. What up, Spirit? Curse their entire family. Wow. These karmics, they curse their entire family. Wow. Tap in. Wow. Spirit definitely saying tap in. That's what Spirit mean by do it yourself. Spirit saying tap in. Do it yourself. Is there a message in this deck for us, Spirit? Sweet dreams. Spirit about to put these karmics to sleep. Okay, that was the third time, though. That was the third time. We got avoidance at the bottom of the deck. That's another narcissistic energy trait. They're avoidant. They're runners. These narcissistics are avoidants. What messages do you have for us, Spirit? For the street. These comics is for the street. There it is. Shit hit the fan. As a result of these karmics sending the evil eye and being separated, the ancestors saying, because of this deception and this pride and this being greedy, operating in devil and narcissistic energy and preying on the collective downfall, the ancestors are saying shit about to hit the fan. Shit done hit the fan. Shit hit the fan. That's what the ancestors are saying. Shit hit the fan. Okay, we got to do the split. Okay, the split is right now what they're trying to do is they're trying to dispose of the evidence, sold their soul to the devil. Look like that means to be corrected too. And now they're trying to dispose of evidence. We're gonna correct this. So. No apologies. They did this shit with no apologies. Correct that later. Police station was involved. ICU. Somebody in the hospital. One of these karmics in the hospital. Somebody sick or somebody in the hospital. Under friends with benefits. Maybe somebody that these karmics were dealing with is in the hospital. Somebody in the ICU though. The ICU is intensive care unit. What else, Spirit? Agape love. That's divine energy. Wow, Spirit is letting us know that He loves us. We got Clout Chaser in reverse. And we got an angel is watching. Angel is watching. Okay. So let's try to develop this third row before we jump into clarifying with I always like to clarify with the Kipper first. Again, if we need further clarification, then I always like to there's a lot of mistakes in this reading, so these karmics definitely made a mistake, because there's a lot of mistakes in this reading. There's a lot of mistakes that have been discovered in this reading. So these karmics definitely made a mistake, okay? And their mistakes are being discovered, okay? That's what this reading is letting me know. There's a lot of mistakes that have been made, and there's a lot of mistakes that are being revealed. There's a lot of mistakes that was made, a lot of mistakes being revealed. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, let's try to develop this third row. Okay, so on this third row, we got isolation popped out on the bottom of the deck, on the first deck, okay? And then there was no card popped out, okay? The card didn't pop out until occupation, okay? On the second deck, on the first card of the third row. So these people are being separated, but they worked hard for what they did, and as a result, they ain't gonna have access anymore because the wheel is not turning in their favor. So they're not gonna be having access to their spiritual gifts because clairsentient came out, so they're not gonna have access from that, and they're gonna be separated. Okay, as I explained earlier, there's a shift going on right now, and if you tapped in, you can definitely feel it. And that shift is that evil is about to be eradicated from the earth. It's called the new earth. We're about to experience the new earth. Okay, that's the reason why this separation is happening right now. Okay, Spirit is saying that they worked hard about it, but we should stay in character. Okay, we should leave these karmics. If you are in the no contact, ancestors are saying leave them on red. Okay, and not to worry, because shit done hit the fan, and we have guardian angels. Okay, not only we have guardian angels against this avoidance energy, which is narcissistic energy, and they sold their soul to the devil. That's the reason why they sending the evil eye, and they're paranoid. They're preying on the collective's downfall. Spirit is having a meeting about this, and Spirit saying that we're going to eat them up, and they want all the smoke. as a result of this deception and this operating in this devil energy, they going bankrupt. Spirit saying right now they're trying to dispose of evidence. And somebody in the hospital that's used to be a clout chaser, but ain't a clout chaser no more, being that that came out in reverse on the split on agape love. The ancestors are letting us know that they love us irregardless of what. And we have angels watching. And that's been clarified already too, because angels watching was revealed in the shuffle. And like I said, there's a lot of mistakes that's being revealed. And from what I understand and what I'm getting from Spirit right now is some of these mistakes are not going to be able to be corrected on their end. Because we have agape love, we're going to be able to correct some of these mistakes. Like I made a mistake here. Like I made a mistake here. But one thing about it, like I made a mistake here. Like I made a mistake here. But the thing about it is we're going to be able to correct our mistakes. We're going to be able to correct our mistakes. They're not going to be able to correct their mistakes. That's what I'm getting from this. Because Spirit's saying they love us regardless. Or ancestors, our ancestors. This is an ancestor message. Ancestors are saying they love us. We got a mature male at the bottom of the deck. This mature male has been in the energy. A mature man. I'm thinking that that's the man that raised me all my life. He didn't even really raise me, but that's the man that was representing himself as my father. And he was definitely a happiness hater. And he definitely used reactive abuse when I was a child growing up, child abuse, and what they call trauma bonding. Did all of that to keep me in a lower vibration, to try to have me not know what my gifts are, and to try to make me like him, which is a narcissistic happiness hater person who indulges in all the 7 deadly sins. Try to turn me into a demonic person. Thank God for the lady that raised me as my mother. What is this first row, Spirit? Courthouse. This is definitely going to be revealed. Can you clarify the first row, Spirit? Courthouse again. What's the chances of that? Well, that's telling me by courthouse coming out here twice, okay? That's telling me that these karmics are not only being tried in the 5D, but they're being tried in the 3D too. They probably already been tried and convicted in the 5D, because in order for it to come out twice like that, that means that they're about to be tried and convicted in the 3D. That's what I'm getting from that. mature man again. So this message from the ancestors is definitely telling us that this mature man is behind all of this. Courthouse again. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. False person. That's got to be my ex. That's who the separation. That's who I'm separated from. That's who doesn't have access to my energy anymore. That's who the wheel of fortune is not turning in their favor anymore. That's the one who has bad habits and that's greedy and scared and prideful. That's the one that used deception and trying to make me think that we were in a serious relationship and trying to trauma bond me to keep me in a lower vibration so she can continue to steal my energy, which is my sacral chakra, my sex, and also my money. That's the one that sold their soul to the devil. That's the one that's been preying on my downfall since I was a kid. That's the one that's been operating in narcissistic energy. That's the one that has the gifts, the clairsentient gift. Spirit telling me that use character and leave her on red. She the one that's in isolation and the one that worked hard. She's the avoidant. There's a message about this that's coming, about this great fortune. There's a message coming about great fortune that involves this false person. So ancestors are letting us know there's going to be a message coming about money. Great fortune is a lot of money. What is this second low, Spirit? Ancestors, what would you like to tell us about this second row, ancestors? Something to do with a house. Courthouse again. There's going to be something about this house in the courthouse. They chose the wrong path. They went in the wrong direction. Great fortune again. Ancestors are letting us know that the collective is about to get a lot of money. Thank you, Spirit. Name female. That's definitely my ex. That's definitely the ex who tried to use deception. And she tried to have me. She was already married. That's what this is saying. Ancestors are telling us that this false person, who is my ex, was already married, right? She was using deception to try to get me in a courtship. That's what Spirit is saying. That my ex was already in a relationship and that she wanted me to be the side piece because side chick did come out in one of the, when we was rifling through the decks, side chick did come out. So she wanted me to be the side dude, friends with benefits through a false courtship. All this was, like I said, before, all this was to try to get me to go insane or to react, go crazy, or to compete in a relationship with her so she could say that I'm crazy with this fake POA that she had on me in the court system with a copycat to try to steal this house, this estate, this insurance money, and a gift. I wouldn't be surprised if main male popped out again or a child. House again. This is definitely involving a house. Boy, I'm telling you, the ancestors is definitely making this message clear. Courtship. This is definitely clarifying that this false female, this main female, who's my ex, tried to use a courtship, and she was already married. She wanted me to be friends with benefits. Do it yourself. That means maybe the spirit is telling me to find out what the truth is myself. Message. There's a message coming in about this. I just noticed. Courthouse again. Look. I just noticed 8 and 2 is 10. That means that this access that spirit is denying and separating, that means that this is done. 10 means completion. That means they ain't going to be able to do the evil eye no more. That means that they're not going to be able to be prideful no more or be deceptive anymore. Which is going to cause the collector's character to be seen for what the truth really is. What is this third row, spirit? What is this third row? Courtship again. This is, boy, I don't even think we're going to have to use the tarot, because spirit is definitely making this clear that this deception was this main female who's a false person trying to use this courtship to try to get me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Spirit is telling me to reveal this to you. But normally I wouldn't even say this, but Spirit is telling me to give you my testimony. And this ain't easy. But when my ex ghosted me, I came home and I sat on my bed. And I ain't gonna lie, I put my gun to my head and I almost blew my own brains out. But it must have been an angel watching over me that made me turn on YouTube. And as soon as I turned on YouTube, there was videos revealing to me what was happening. And I mean, it feels like since then, I have been woke. But that was the whole plan. For me to off myself so these people can steal my energy, which is my money. This inheritance that was supposed to go to me when I was 17 years old. This house and this estate and this insurance money that was left to me from my grandmother. So they can avoid this court, and so they can avoid this investigation that they under right now, because they being exposed for what they did. What's this last real spirit? Courthouse again. The reason why I got the camera set up like I got is because you really can't believe every reader that you see on YouTube, because some of them develop the story the way they wanted to develop it. I mean, some of them so slick about it that you can see them developing the story right in front of you. It's false. They're creating a narrative like they want to create it. This, you can see me shuffling the deck. You can see the ancestors revealing the messages through the cards. The fact that there's over 13 decks right here, and I'm only choosing one card from each deck, is solidifying that these messages that are popping out are messages that the ancestors are wanting to communicate to the collective. Occupation. Occupation came out right here. Occupation came out on the card where Spirit's telling us to have character and leave them on red. What is this last row, Spirit? Courthouse again. Y'all see it, man. Y'all see it. Thank you, Spirit. Got pathway in the reverse. So I'm taking that as Spirit saying that somebody is not on the right. Excuse me, confirmation. Spirit is saying that somebody ain't on the right path. And it's definitely involving this main male and this mature woman who these two people are married. That's the guy that raised me. And that's my ex, who's a false person. That's crazy. At any rate, the pathway is not clear for them. Let's try to summarize this whole message again. This is something about a house in the courthouse. Something about a house in the courthouse involving a child. Maybe these two had a child, or maybe I'm the child that was supposed to receive the gift that they worked hard for. And they was in a relationship for the sudden wealth. And the distant horizon, there's going to be a court date. It's going to be adjudication. That means that judge going to be making a decision real soon about this great fortune. They having thoughts about this shit. They having meetings about this shit. They going into poverty. They was expectation about this community that's going to probably be passing away because they out here knowingly spreading HIV. They going to jail. Both of them. It's going to be a change. It's going to be either they trying to get away, or either I'm going to be moving away. Spirit saying that's the final. It's concern about this mature man. It's an official person that's involved. Somebody from the justice system about this thief and this mature woman It was a message of concern about this unexpected wealth from this privileged lady that's in bad health, about this gift and this wealthy man. High honor. That could be me, held in high honor. Somebody going in despair. This couple. There's a message of concern about this house and this court date that's coming. Let's try to summarize this whole thing. Let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning, okay, first of all, the ancestors are letting us know that this is a message from the ancestors, okay? This message is about a narcissist, because that's what narcissists do. They project. Projection, okay? So they was operating in narcissistic energy. As a result, the wheel's not turning in their favor. They scared and paranoid because they was preying on the downfall of the collective. Okay, they were experts at operating in this narcissistic energy. They were greedy. It's a business possibly that's involved, or a spirit is saying that our ancestors are saying that this is my business and we're gonna eat them up. Ancestors, they funny just like spirit, you know what I'm saying? Spirit be being funny too. So maybe the ancestors are saying we having a meeting and we're gonna eat them up. Or this is our business. Ancestors are saying this is our business and we're gonna eat them up. But ancestors are saying do it yourself. And what I'm interpreting this as do it yourself is they telling us to find out what the truth is. Instead of going on the internet, watching tarot readers, find out yourself. That's the reason why I do this at least once or twice a day. Find out the truth. This is the first ancestor message that I done got. So they telling the collective, do it yourself, because we all have gifts. And one of the gifts is that you have, if you are part of the collective and you are tapped in, is that you have access to your Akashic records, which means that you have access to find out what happened before in your past. If you want to tap in, you have access to what's happening currently in your current energy, and you have access to tap into what's going to happen to you in your future. So that's one of the reasons why Spirit is saying do it yourself. As far as this access to this Wheel of Fortune, they don't have access to that Wheel of Fortune anymore because of the bad habits that they had. Their gifts right now are temporary. Okay? This shit is almost over because Spirit is letting us know that this is almost over with this 8 and this 2 at the bottom being 10. Spirit is also letting us know that by them going to be losing their gifts, that this is karma, because 3 and 5 is 8, and that's karma, and it's in reverse for them. For this false female and this mature man, this mature woman and this mature male, who's the same as this false person and the main female. Ancestors are telling us that they feel entitled to operate in this devil energy and being prideful, thinking that they're better than the collective. Sending the evil eye. Spirit is saying they want all the smoke. This main female, who's a false person, she's the dark high priestess, determined to cause harm to a genius rising star, which is me. She the dark high priestess. That's why she a false person. She really a witch. This main man, he a warlock. The FBI was at the bottom of the deck when this card came out, the Friends with Benefit card. That's what my ex wanted from me. I was the side dude because she was already married. She tried to use a courtship with me being the side dude and friends with benefits, using deception to try to get me to kill myself so they could try to steal this great fortune, which is my energy. Money is energy. Anything that belongs to me is energy. They wanted to use this false courtship to try to get me to off myself so they can just steal this estate, this house, this gift, and this insurance money without having to go through the courts. It's been revealed through spirit that there's a judge in the energy that's being blackmailed because this main female who's a false person is blackmailing the judge now because she was having sex with the judge to try to create false reports in the court and in order to get this false POA off. But Spirit says as a result of this deception, they're going bankrupt. That don't necessarily mean bankrupt in the 3D, but first of all, in order for you to go bankrupt in the 3D, you got to be bankrupt in the 5D first. Then once you become bankrupt in the 5D, you become bankrupt in the 3D. That's the reason why, because they use these deceptive tactics and they going bankrupt. That's the reason why Spirit's saying that their gifts are temporary, because they losing their gifts, because they going bankrupt. They losing their gifts in 3D, in the 5D. Now they're gonna lose their house. They're gonna lose their cars. They're gonna lose their jobs. They're gonna probably lose their kids. They probably gonna lose everything, money, all that. It's gonna be stripped away from them. This separate. The ancestors are telling us to separate from them. If you're already in a no contact, then Spirit is saying stay isolated. Because these people worked hard and they felt entitled. Using these bad habits of being greedy, prideful, and operating in devil energy by being narcissistic. So if you already separate from them, or if you're not separate from them, separate from them, go into isolation, because these people worked hard in doing this, and stay in character. What that means is, right now, like I was explaining earlier, what they want us to do is they want us to react in order for them to get energy. Right now, they need energy. If you're already in separation from the person already, then if you see that person right now, they probably aged in dog years. You probably won't even be able to recognize this person anymore, because if you've been recalling your energy and you haven't been giving them a reaction by staying in character, these people dying. Spirit said leave them on red. You don't have to worry about anything. This battle is not yours. This battle is the Lord's battle. And you have guardian angels that's protecting you from this narcissistic energy. This demonic narcissistic presence, they done sold their soul to the devil, and shit done hit the fan. Because they feeling scared and paranoid, they trying to dispose of evidence because the FBI is involved. And they know they're going to have a court date pretty soon, because court date and courthouse is definitely in the energy. Somebody in the ICU. It's an emergency. Somebody not doing well. Terminally. Because when you're in the ICU, that means you are terminal. That means that you might leave here. You might have a permanent transition. And this cloud chaser being in reverse on the Agape Love card, then that means if they're in the ICU, ain't no way they could be a cloud chaser anymore anyway. An angel is watching over us. Here we got angels watching and guardian angels watching, and we got angel watching under this agape love card on the split of this card. That means that God really loves the collective, especially if we're trying to seek the spirit and use your gifts that have been revealed to you for good. You're going to be rewarded with great fortune. On the last row, we got the mature man that came out, okay? And then after the mature man, we got this false person that's verified by this main female. And then our ancestors let us know that they married. They was already in a relationship. When my ex met me, they was already in a relationship, and she wasn't honest enough to tell me because she wanted me to be the side dude and friends with benefits. The reason could have been is that she was trying to get me sick and send me to the ICU because she's infected with HIV and knowingly spreading HIV. So she could have been, possibly the plan could have been to get me sick or get me to kill myself. Or once I became sick, then I wouldn't have had no other choice but to settle for being the side dude, which is friends with benefits, because I would have been demonic at that point. My heart chakra would have been closed off, or either I would have been dead. But there's a message of concern. There's a message coming in about this great fortune that these two try to steal using a courtship and deception. Their pathway is blocked, and that's karma. They going to hell. This mature woman and this main male and main female who's a false person, they're going to hell. That's it, man. I gave y'all my testimony. My energy is done. Maybe I'll come back later with another message, but I hope that this message resonates with somebody, and if it does, please like and share this video. Please support the channel. I need all the help that I can get right now, for real, because since I'm sharing my testimony, I might as well go ahead and share my testimony. But yeah, I need you to support the channel if you can. You can support the channel right there. Because of these spiritual attacks that I've been under, my vehicle has been vandalized. My work truck has been tampered with, where it's being hard for me to continue what I do in order to make money. My daughter, who I should have never introduced to this witch or her kids or her grandkids, is in the National Honor Roll Society, and now she's not doing good in school. I need to relocate. I'm not able to relocate now because in March 1st, I was shot 5 times. I'm constantly under spiritual attack from my neighbors, with them sending me the evil eye. I need to move. I'm constantly under a noise campaign, and I'm being targeted with energy weapons. So if you can support the channel, all the donations will help to improve the channel and to help me improve my situation. If this message moved your heart where you feel like you want to make a contribution, I thank you in advance. Until the next time we meet and greet, Ashe.